What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Where Is. I hope everyone is having an amazing day. So, of course, I have another case for you guys today. So, without further ado, let's just go ahead and get right into the case. So, today we will be discussing the unsolved case of Dorien Thomas. Dorien Thomas was born on May 6th in 1989. He was 9 years old at the time, and he was a fourth grade student at Bivens Elementary School in Amarillo, Texas. He was on the honor roll and was known for riding his bike around the neighborhood, visiting his friends and his neighbors. He was staying in an apartment complex at the time, which was in the 1300 block of Northwest 9th Avenue, again in Amarillo, Texas. So it was October 26th in 1998, and Dorian was filling up his bicycle tires with air, getting ready to go on his bike ride through his neighborhood. So he heads off on his bike and he begins his ride through the neighborhood and even possibly had plans of grabbing a snack from a store close by, but Dorian has never been seen or heard from since. Now, the bike that he had was a pretty unique bike. It was an aqua bicycle that had white handlebars, a black seat, a chrome-colored connection pole that extended from the seat to the frame of the bike. The chain was rusted and the tires on the bike were white and pretty small. Now, the bike also had the words freestyle on the side of the bike as well. Now, not only had Dorian completely disappeared without a trace, his bike was also missing as well, and to this day, it has never been recovered. Now, Dorian was reported missing 24 hours after he had disappeared. Now, again, he was the type of kid that stayed out riding his bike, again, visiting friends and neighbors, so I'm not sure if his family just wasn't too alarmed of him not returning home because he did stay out all of the time riding his bike, or if, a lot of times families report a loved one missing and are told by the police to wait 24 hours to see if they come back home before filing a missing persons report, but again, this information is unclear. Now, there was an extensive search that was done to find Dorian. According to Lieutenant Eric Bohannon, the police combed through Dorian's neighborhood. They looked in every house that was boarded up in the area and even had air support. Many volunteers from the community reportedly came out to help look for Dorian as well. They looked through fields, they knocked on doors, asking anyone if they had seen Dorian. Now, according to some of his friends and neighbors, they told police that it wasn't unusual for Dorian to be out late in the evening. They also said that he had a carefree smile and just loved riding his bike through the streets to visit them. Now, although police as well as members of the community searched everywhere for him, unfortunately, no one was able to find Dorian anywhere, and again, it's like he completely disappeared without a trace, and to this day, his case remains unsolved. So, what could have happened to Dorian? Did he leave on his own accord? Did someone take him? Was he alone or was he with some of his friends? Did any of his friends possibly see something that night and just never spoke up about it? Now, back in 2008, Lieutenant Gary Troop stated that Dorian was very street smart. He says that Dorian knew who he was and where he lived and that he wasn't going to go somewhere unless he was going to go on his free will. So, could Dorian have possibly told some of his friends that he maybe wanted to explore a little bit further past his neighborhood than he probably was allowed to and ended up in an area he wasn't familiar with and possibly gotten taken while he was riding his bike? I mean, obviously, when we don't have enough information on cases like this, there could be a million theories as to what could have happened to him. Now, initially, his family believed that a family friend had taken him to Dallas, Texas, but the family friend did end up calling authorities not too long after and told them that they had nothing to do with his disappearance. And after being questioned by the police, the family friend was ruled out as a suspect. Now, this is where Dorian's case takes an interesting turn. So, back in August of 1997, the year before his disappearance, Dorian, along with some of his friends, discovered the body of Gloria Ann Covington, who had been reportedly stabbed to death. They had been playing in Hilltop Park when they came across her body behind a YMCA. Now, Gloria's friend, whose name was Linda Gale Jackson, had actually witnessed the death of Gloria, and she told police that Gloria had been attacked inside a light-colored pickup truck prior to her being murdered. Now, what's eerie about this is that Linda had actually been killed just 1 month after the death of Gloria, and witnesses had reportedly seen her in a truck that was very similar to the truck Gloria was in. Now, both women's cases remain unsolved. However, the story gets more eerie and disturbing. Now, there was a woman who was friends with both Gloria and Linda who had been attacked and beaten by an unidentified Caucasian man in September of 1998. Now, she did survive the attack, and she described the man to have had red hair that was pulled back into a ponytail. She says he had blue eyes and had a mustache. Now, what's crazy is, after the incident, the woman had actually stopped at Dorian's mother's place and was knocking on the door asking his mother for help. She says that Dorian was home at the time and somehow, some way, the suspect who had attacked her had seen Dorian. Now, I'm not sure if he was standing in the doorway with his mother when she answered the door, but he was in fact seen by the suspect, and the victim had also claimed that the suspect threatened to harm her again in the future, and because of this led police to believe that foul play could quite possibly be involved in Dorian's case. So, could the suspect who attacked the woman who was friends with both Gloria and Linda be responsible for their deaths and then possibly kidnap Dorian because he knew too much or didn't want him to say anything? Now, authorities were never able to determine if Dorian's disappearance was in fact connected to the unsolved murders, but I definitely find it interesting that he finds a woman's body and is a witness to a woman being attacked, potentially by the same man involved in the murders, and then he disappears a year later. I mean, I'm definitely torn on this case because I feel like if foul play was involved, we possibly would have found his body by now, so I feel like he was kidnapped, but I truly hope that he is alive and well out there somewhere. Now, according to an article from 2015, the police were still actively receiving tips from people who had claimed to have seen Dorian. Again, he went missing back in 1998, and again, his case remains unsolved. If you have any information regarding his case, you can contact the Amarillo Police Department at 806-379-3038. Again, Dorian was only 9 at the time of his disappearance. He is black with black hair and brown eyes, and at the time stood at 4 foot in height and weighed 60 pounds. He was last seen wearing a red shirt and jeans, and if alive, Dorian would be 32 years old. Now, I truly hope that we can spread awareness to his case and I hope and pray that we can bring him home together. Well, that is it for me today, you guys. As always, please stay safe and I will see you in the next one.